Hey guys, I'm Jacqueline.
And I'm Marcella.
And we just got back from the movies. We just saw the new pirate movie, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man Tell No Tales.
Had a lot of problems with it that we're gonna get into, but we also really enjoyed it. So we're gonna say what we liked, what we didn't like.
Yeah, overall, if you haven't seen the other Pirates movies, they're really great movies. Our favorite is the first one, but yeah, they're good. They're really fun movies, especially for the summer. Some of them have its really high points, some of them have their really low points, but overall they're solid movies. And this one, if you hadn't seen those, you probably could still watch this one and enjoy it, but I feel like you wouldn't get those little moments that they kind of throw in because it is a series.
You wouldn't really know the characters either.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. However, there were parts of it that the plot got a little crazy towards the second half of the movie. The first half I feel like was really strong, solid, really funny, really funny moments.
I don't know what, like, I can't really pinpoint exactly when it happened, but I think towards the middle-ish part of the movie, I don't know, it just kind of like the plot got a little like
complicated. We will say that this one follows Henry Turner, who is our other main character, William Turner's son, and he's a really hot guy, guys. He's
oh my goodness,
gorgeous. He is our lead, and then we have another girl named, what was her name? Katerina?
Katerina, yes.
Katerina, who there's a huge plot twist with who she is later on in the film. But yeah, there was an interesting dynamic between them, and then our favorite character was Captain Jack Sparrow.
Jack Sparrow made this movie for us.
The whole movie.
Yeah,
it was
definitely
so wonderful seeing Johnny Depp be Jack Sparrow.
He had so many great funny moments.
So many great moments. The way that he comes into this movie is perfect. It's hilarious and just, it's wonderful.
Go see the movie for him.
Yeah, go see the movie for Jack Sparrow, because that's where it's worth it. On a 5-star scale, I would give it about a 3-star.
I would say 3.5.
Yeah, I would say 3.
Yeah,
and then
somewhere in between there.
Yeah, what about like a letter rating? Like if you do like A, B, C, D, like what would you give it? I would give it like a B-.
B-,
C+,
yeah, around there.
C+.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So we do recommend going to see it and go check it out for yourself, but don't go into the theater with really high expectations because you probably will be let down. It's better to go in with the low expectations because I feel like if you go in with the low expectations, you'll be happier.
Alright, so that's all that we're gonna say in the non-spoilery section of this. So if you haven't seen the movie, go see it and come back and you could discuss with us.
Now you guys have all seen it. Now the opening of this movie was so cool. With the opening of this little boy.
That was actually my favorite. My favorite part of the movie was with Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, me too. But the beginning when you see the little boy and you're like, oh, you know that that's Will Turner's son, and then he goes and he sees his father. You see William Turner, and he warns him about Jack Sparrow, and he warns him about the curse and all of these things, and then we get a flash to 9 years later. And
see, that's the thing though, they opened up this movie with Henry going to see his father.
So you would think that you're following Henry's
You would
story.
think that that Will would have a bigger part of the overall movie. He did, in the sense that Henry was trying to break the curse.
He was the plot without being in the plot in that way.
Yeah, like I thought that. Yeah. What I would have liked to see is Henry break the curse like halfway through the movie. That way Will could be in the movie.
Yes, exactly.
And not just in like 2 scenes.
I wanted to see him working with Jack Sparrow again. I was really disappointed that we didn't get to see that. One of my favorite parts of this whole movie was the whole opening of Jack Sparrow when he comes out and you see him and he's just sitting in there and he's like, what am I doing here? And he's like, oh, I'm robbing the bank. And there's like the truth.
It takes the whole like house.
Oh my god, that was wonderful.
That was great.
And he had so many fantastic lines, and then you see him meet up with Katerina, and their banter was really funny.
I love the whole bank thing, how when he gets the bank on the ship, and he gets the safe on the ship, and he looks in there, and there's 1 coin. And his crew's kind of like, are you kidding? And they just kind of are like, we're out.
Yeah, this is not okay. This is terrible. This is so funny. And he had no idea that there was this huge bounty on his head. Like, he had no clue.
He was just drowning himself in rum the first, like, good, like, hour of the movie, like, half hour.
Funny. I also really love this scene when we rescue Jack Sparrow and Katerina when they're about to die, when he goes with the guillotine first. I love the line when he went with the guillotine. He's like, oh, I'll take that one. That's French.
And then he's like, I've changed my mind.
That was so funny. He's like, did you know the French have invented mayonnaise?
He had just such great lines. He always has great lines.
So fun.
I love how before he was gonna, they were like walking him like past all the cells, and then he sees somebody that he knows. He's like, Uncle Jack, and then him and like Jack are like exchanging words and stuff, and it was just, the dialogue was just perfect.
The dialogue was one of the highlights. The beginning was so great, and then so anyway that scene when they're about to die and everything, and then Henry Turner comes flying in. He swoops in to go save them. And
he's like on the diversion.
All of them come. Then his crew comes back. Oh yeah, that was great. And I loved the way that they filmed that. Was so cool because he had his head like in the guillotine, like getting ready to be chopped off.
Yes.
And the way that they filmed it was the blade
impressive. Was going back and forth, and it was just almost like every time it swung, it was almost getting to his neck, and it was like, oh, so stressful.
So really love the scene a little bit later on in the film when you had Henry Turner and Jack Sparrow, they're sitting in the boat, and then Katerina like stands up and she starts like stripping, and then Henry Turner's like, I saw her ankles.
He's like, you would have seen a lot more of that if you kept your mouth shut.
So funny. And then the whole part with the shark, how the sharks were circulating them, and then in the end, Jack Sparrow, he had that anchor, he put the anchor in him, and he ended up like driving.
Yes, I love that. When he was like surfing with the sharks.
That was
and then
so
you
cool.
get the shot of him like going past, and he grabs onto Henry.
Yes, and then as soon as like they make it to the island, obviously, and then all like the army comes and they can't get there. And I will say I didn't really like the part when I mean it was funny, but I just think it was unnecessary when they get captured in the net or whatever, and they set up Jack Sparrow for like a wedding. Like I thought that, it was funny, but it wasn't. That was a little overdone.
I feel like that's kind of like around the same around the time where the plot kind of like went a little weird.
I feel like that wasn't necessary. We didn't need that comic relief because we had just gotten one. Loved the scene when they had the Black Pearl going in the ocean, and you hear the music, and
I love when they took when the Black Pearl came out of like the bottle, and it was like, he was like, are you kidding? And it was like really small, and then they put it in the water, and it shoots up, and that was a great great shot of it coming out of the water.
All right, so the other, it was a kind of a subplot, but I wasn't feeling the romance. And guys, you know that we love romance. Like, we love the romance part of movies and all of that.
Not even that. In the Pirates movies, we love Will and Elizabeth's romance, but we just were not feeling Henry and Katerina. I didn't feel it. It was alright. Like, it was okay, but it was just... Yeah, it was kind of just like a little bit forced, and I think that they were trying to parallel Will and Elizabeth too much.
And it didn't work. Like, in the beginning, it was cute, and it was like, okay, this has potential. And then they had like 3 or 4 scenes together, and they cared so much about each other, and it just felt a little too much. Did appreciate getting that backstory of Jack Sparrow, and you see how he became a captain, and that's why he is called Captain Jack Sparrow. And by the way, guys, little mini Jack Sparrow was really cute. I thought he was cute. I would watch like a prequel of movie of that, like, please. At that point in the story though, I felt like it just kind of lost its momentum. Like, yes, there was a lot of action scenes. Yes, there was a lot of really great shots and really great lines and everything, but I feel like it started to drift more towards Katerina, and in some ways
kind of like dragged out. Like,
I don't know. And in some ways I feel like her character had a little bit more depth than even Henry Turner, and I thought that was a little strange because I feel like Henry Turner, from the beginning of the movie, he's our main protagonist. Now, I felt like at that point it started to focus in a lot more on Katerina's story with her father and the adoption and all of the trident and all that stuff.
I do like that they put that in, that was her father.
Really I thought that was really great. Such a good plot twist. But
I don't know. I feel like the story just revolved around her and her story. She really did have more depth than Henry, and I would have liked to see more of Henry, just more driven towards getting his father out, and like, you know that he was, that's why he was doing it. but I wanted that to be more of like,
yeah,
I don't know, more a part of the story.
We needed to see, I wanted more scenes with him and Jack Sparrow talking. I wanted more to see more of that communication between the two of them.
I would have liked to have a scene of Jack Sparrow telling Henry about their adventures, about his adventures with his parents.
Yes, and yeah, you know, in the beginning they mentioned them a little bit, but I feel like I would have liked more, like more moments of that.
It was only one scene, like that one scene where they meet when they meet each other, and then he mentions them, but it doesn't get brought up again. Like, I would have liked him to be like,
I would have preferred that over those scenes with him and Katerina. Like, I would have wanted more of that story.
There was just a lot of like the stars and like finding the stars, and it just kind of got like, okay, like come on, like just get on with it.
But anyway, back to that plot twist that they threw in of who her father was. That was so interesting, and that really made the whole story go full circle in the sense that, okay, so we have Elizabeth and Will's son, and then we also have Captain Barbossa's daughter. Like, that was really interesting, and I really did appreciate that they had that in, but like we said, I just would have liked a little bit more of Henry. Now we get towards the ending where they go and they see the trident. The whole time I'm thinking like it's like this real trident that they're going for. Like, they're going for Poseidon's trident, right? And then we get to the thing and I'm like so confused. I'm like, there's like these stars and these rocks everywhere. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, I was a little confused too.
So I'm like looking at Marcella doing this and I'm like, wait, is that the trident? Like, it's not a real trident? And then Marcella's like, no, wait, I think it is. And then they go and they put that last piece of the rock, the ruby. They put the last piece of the ruby, and then you see the trident. I'm like, wait, but I thought it was a real trident. And then I didn't put two and two together that was their way to get the actual trident. I really did like how Barbossa was the one who gave her the ruby. Like, that was kind of symbolic. And at that point, I feel like she might have even started to put two and two together, like a little bit of it, but we didn't get that that big significant scene between them until he sacrifices himself. And what did you think about the setting that they used for the Poseidon area, like that underwater area that they were fighting in?
It was cool, I guess.
It was cool, right? Like, I mean, it wasn't, I think it was a little bit cheesy. I don't know. I mean, it was really cool. I was just not expecting that.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that either.
And I thought the line that before he sacrificed himself was really corny too. When, what am I to you?
Oh, we actually looked at each other, and Jacqueline looks at me and she goes, did he just say tragic? Treasure. It was a little corny, that part, but I did love how he sacrificed himself.
Yeah, I thought that was really touching, and
she saw the tattoo, so she knew that was her father.
Yeah, that was a really nice moment, and it was really sad to see him go, but like we said, you know what, you never know if he's actually really dead with these pirate movies. You never know. I was so disappointed that at the very end we did not get a scene with Will, Jack Sparrow,
my biggest
and
problem
Elizabeth.
with the movie.
I was so frustrated that we didn't get that scene.
Especially if this is gonna be a final movie, like that
was
heard,
not okay. I was really annoyed about that.
You can't do that. Like, these are the people, these are like the three main people from like all the Pirates movies. Like, you need to have them in one more scene, and you just get the shot of Jack Sparrow like on the boat and stuff with the monkey, and he like sees them, and he kind of makes like a funny comment, but he should have like went over, like, I don't know, he should have been, there should have been a scene with them together. And you know, it was in this field, and it was really emotional too, like seeing that. It was like, oh my god, like, yes, like, finally. Well, we got him running to Elizabeth, which was really, that was good.
That was really sweet, but then it ends. It's like the end of the movie at that point, and it's like, oh, I really wanted the after, maybe an epilogue or something, if this was really the last one. And I did really like, though, that they ended the whole movie. The last final shot is Jack Sparrow, Captain Jack Sparrow, on his ship, sailing away, going on a new adventure. Like, I thought it was very nice in that way. The music was powerful, and it was really emotional. And then
before that, we should have gotten
more.
I feel like I would have actually really enjoyed the movie, like, overall. Like, I feel like my rating would be higher if we got that scene, because that was really my main problem.
Overall, as you could tell, there were a lot of moments that we really did love, and we really did enjoy it as a whole. However, we did have those little issues, and let us know if you guys felt the same way as we did. Again, this is just our opinion. We're not like bashing on the movie or anything. We did enjoy it, but
and we thought all the actors did a wonderful job.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. So yeah, just let us know what you guys thought about that in the comments. I'm curious if you guys thought the same way as we did, or let us know what your favorite part was, what your favorite Captain Jack Sparrow line is. That would be really cool if we could talk about his best lines down in the comments.
Let us know if you have any recommendations for summer movie reviews. We're going to be doing a lot of these throughout the summer. Give this video a thumbs up and please subscribe.
Follow us on Twitter. We are at City of the Feels.
All the links are down below. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you for watching. Bye!